Alrighty, hi there. This is our back to school night video for Precalc. I'm Nathan Porter, your Precalc instructor for your particular student. Thanks for tuning in and welcome. I try to with the whole video thing for back to school night, pretty much take the same approach as I would for a face-to-face back to school night, which is kind of three parts here. Get started with just a little bit of info about me. I feel like that's kind of the most obvious place to start. Like, all right, you're the teacher, who are you? A little info, please. Little info about curriculum, and then a little bit of info kind of about the day-to-day operations of the course. That's kind of the three parts that I think over the course of, we'll see here, 8 to 10 minutes. I think I just did my stats video for my AP stats classes. I think it came in just over 9. So hopefully somewhere in that 8 to 10 minute range. A little bit about myself. This is my 14th year in teaching. This is year number 8 at Orono. I spent 6 years at Fridley before coming here in 2014. Did my undergraduate work at Bethel, my graduate work at Concordia St. Paul. In terms of extracurriculars, I'm an assistant cross-country coach and the co-head coach for track and field for both boys and girls. And our cross-country program is also co-gender, so I coach boys and girls there. Big part of what I do, it is a big time commitment after school. That kind of leads into a good point that if your student needs a little bit of extra help, coming in early in the morning is better than after school. I'm usually out of here by 2:45 to 2:50 because either cross country in the fall or track in the spring always starts right about 3 o'clock. So once that 2:30 bell rolls around for 7th hour, I'm here for a few minutes, but typically out of here pretty quick to get to practice. So keep that in mind. Mornings are pretty good, usually no later than 7. A lot of times as early as 6:45 or 6:40. I get here at a pretty decent hour, but mornings are definitely better. All right, curriculum. Okay, that's enough about me. Let's move on to just some curriculum of Precalc. We teach out of the Larson Precalc textbook, 7th edition. It's a phenomenal text. We cover the first 9 units. The first 4 are covered in first semester, 5 to 9. We hit second semester. Chapter 4 is kind of split up into 2 summatives, 4A and 4B. So it's really kind of like, with those 2, smaller units. It's kind of like 5 chapters, more or less, with 5 summative assessments taking place throughout the year. Really the big thing that I like to communicate with the curriculum is, all right, if your son or daughter is coming in from functions and trig, okay, in terms of their experience last year, similarities and differences, right? Precalc is obviously more similar to functions and trig than different, but what approach do we kind of take there? First semester, particularly units 1, 2, and 4, are pretty similar topics to functions and trig. Chapter 3 is a little bit new. It's possible they have seen a few of the concepts in Algebra 2, but the theme kind of being most of first semester pretty much hitting some similar topics to functions and trig. Pacing moves a little bit quicker. That's kind of a theme throughout the whole year. Not a ton quicker, but a little. Okay, moves a little bit quicker. But again, a lot of review from that first semester. As we go into second semester, that dynamic changes a little bit. Chapter 5 is pretty much a review of previous concepts. 6 has got a few new things. We get into some vectors in chapter 6, but then 7, 8, and 9, which pretty much cover most of our time kind of around spring break and through the end of the year, that's all brand new. Okay, so second semester's got a much bigger theme that they see a lot of new topics, especially in kind of the latter 3 months of the school year. If I had to kind of combine the 2 semesters in terms of like new content versus review, it's all pretty close to like 50-50, maybe like 55-45, that 55% of the content is review from functions and trig, about 45% concepts that are new that they haven't seen before, okay? That's kind of what things are looking like curriculum-wise. Day-to-day operations of the course and grading. I'm an 80-20 grading scale teacher, 80 summative, 20 formative. I just use those 2 categories. Each Friday, I send out the week schedule for the following week, okay? So really the two things that I'll mark on there in bold are if we have what I would call assessment dates. There's two different types, formative and summative. The summatives are pretty straightforward. You'll see on the schedule that, they've got a test in Precalc, right? Which again, first semester, you should be looking for 5 of those. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4A, and 4B. The other thing that might be a little bit different from previous math classes is I have these dates that are called checkpoints, okay? A checkpoint is like a formative assessment day. In class, we kind of spend our time taking a quiz, okay? That's more or less what we do. But the sections that were covered on that quiz, that's the day that the homework assignments are due, okay? So students show up for quiz day, and it's, I give it the different name of a checkpoint because it's kind of like a quiz, but it's not necessarily graded as tough as a summative. It's more completion-based, like a homework assignment. It's really for me. It's for me with kind of without the element of a stiff grading penalty. It's for me to get a glimpse as to how things are going at that point in the unit, right? Because when they're taking checkpoints, the instruction for the whole chapter, we're not done yet, right? So we're still kind of making mistakes, getting used to the content that we're learning and getting better at it. But at the end of the hour, they submit their quiz with the homework assignments that were, that have content that were covered on that quiz. That's kind of what a checkpoint day looks like. It's kind of their formative homework turn-in takes place on that day. Checkpoints are valued at a little bit more, right? A homework assignment gets 1 formative point, and the checkpoint gets 2. So the little quiz that they do in class that they hand in with those homework assignments kind of counts like 2 homework assignments. They typically always take place in class, okay? So that element is there. It's a little bit different, right? That's kind of the one thing I find when I communicate the schedule to parents, that they're like, what exactly are going on with these checkpoints? Kind of like quizzes, okay? I'm looking over my list here. I think I've covered everything. That's about all I was looking for. Really looking forward to a good year. As I'm recording this video, we're just wrapping up our first week. It's been a great first week. Both of my pre-calc sections, which are 6th and 7th hour, have been awesome. We're off to a great start. Communication-wise, phone or email, either one. Most tend to go email. I feel like it just more often than not probably has an element of efficiency that most people like. But if you want to talk, phone is always great, especially if you try me earlier in the morning. Really good chance you'll get through to me and we could have a little conversation over the phone. But if you have questions on anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. And again, above everything, please know I am really, really excited for the school year. I'm happy that we're off to a great start and looking forward to where this year is going to take us. Thanks.